WWE Raw correspondent Sarah Schreiber going to be joining us in progress. Also have an update on the bet betwixt my two co-hosts as it pertains to Carol Baskin and Dancing with the Stars. We got all of that to get to, but first, introductions. I am Mo Lightning. To my left, Lindsay with an E. Lindsay, how you feeling going into week one of the bet?
Hanging in there.
Yeah, you better start sweating because Carol Baskin is getting cut first.
So we're going to talk about it right now. Let's continue.
Yeah, we'll give her time to prepare and get ready for that. Below Lindsay, of course, the WWE Hall of Famer, Devon. Devon, how are you, sir?
Oh, I'm doing great after Dancing with the Stars. I can't be more happier. I can't wait for Lindsay to lose the bet and just, this is going to be a very good happening. This is better than me doing the What's Up to Trish Stratus.
Okay.
Yes. Also, this might be even better than doing the What's Up to a special guest friend of mine that's on this week. We could talk about that a little later, but first we have to introduce this person. But with that in mind, being that I know her so well, I want you to do it, Mo, because you have that voice that only should be on radio, but yet you're here. So go ahead and introduce our guest for today.
I am on the radio, thank you very much. But with that said, she is a WWE superstar. She used to, as of this week, no longer the managerial services, the aide behind Andrade and Angel Garza. She could be your next WWE Raw Women's Champion. I guess we'll find out. She is the one and only ZELINA VEGA, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Hell of an introduction.
Oh, man. ZELINA, you know, Mo made up a good point here. There is a possibility that you could have gold around your waist and it has nothing to do with Andrade or Angel. But here's the deal. I've got to ask this question. I love you to death. You're a fantastic individual, but you do know that you just slapped the hell out of our Raw Women's Champion, Asuka. And, well, some might consider that a death threat. I mean, or death calling, whatever you want to call it. But what is going on here? Why did you feel that you had to make that type of statement to a person like Asuka?
Well, let me ask you something first. Devon, where are we from?
Oh, New York.
Right. So usually when we do something, it's for a reason and we have a plan, right?
Absolutely.
That is why.
Oh.
I don't go into things blindly. I don't go into things with just, thinking, oh, this is a great idea today. That's not how I work. I mean, if anybody has seen me as a manager, clearly I always have a plan. I always have something on my sleeve, and I wouldn't have stepped to the Raw Women's Champion without one.
Well, Mo, I think she's answered that question. Lindsay, I think she's got it.
I mean, if anybody gets it, it's you.
I mean,
right?
Oh, absolutely.
Devon with a plan, I'm not too sure about that. But
well, it's not my plan. It's ZELINA's plan. I mean,
in general, not right. You just in plans.
Well, listen, like you're a different kind of breed when you're from New York. Okay, I will say that. True. You're a different kind of breed. There's a whole nother grind mentality that you have that other people just can't relate to. So of course they're gonna ask questions like, why did you do this? And aren't you crazy? Oh my God, I was gonna kill you. You don't think I thought about that?
Oh, look at you. Mm-hmm.
Well, I will say this, and Mo and Lindsay, about 2 weeks ago, ZELINA, who was out there with the people she represents, which is Angel Garza and Andrade, taking on the Street Profits. And I happened to be watching this match really, really closely. And just so happened that when the lights flickered, of course, when that happens, there's certain individuals that coming out of from everywhere. And I guess you could say ZELINA's absolutely right. When you're a New Yorker, you know that you're not going down without a fight. Mm-hmm. And there were a couple of Retribution people that were coming after ZELINA. And, well, let's just say ZELINA wasn't going down without a fight.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think even if the numbers are against you, you have to always think about, okay, you know what? And I think you saw it in my little shrug there. I was like, all right, screw it. Let's do it. Because you're always going to get back up. You're always going to get back up. But I'm not going to get up saying, man, I went down like a little wuss. Like, no.
ZELINA, she just had that look. It was funny. She backed up. She looked. Next thing you know, when she just went, I'm taking somebody out. Bam.
I'm going down. I'm taking
Love
somebody
it.
with me.
I'm taking somebody with me.
So you say that you got a plan. Can you just go ahead and spoil it for us right now, all of it?
That'd be great.
Devon, you vouch for him, right?
You know.
Sometimes.
What kind of a question is that?
Nah, I know I wasn't going to get anything there, and I actually don't want to talk about future storylines. I love being surprised, but you talk about breaking out on your own and whatnot. Big changes for you this week as a character. But I'm sure deep down, the person behind the character, there's a truth behind it that this is your time to shine. What's going through your head on this one?
Oh, I wasn't lying. I wasn't lying when I said all that. I was not joking. I said I am sick and tired of raising other people's stocks but mine. I'm sick of it. I've wasted some of the best years of my career by managing those two selfish little ingrates. Why? If they don't even take me seriously, why? I don't know if you saw Twitter, but Angel's over here tweeting, "Oh, go Asuka, go Asuka," and I'm like, "Well, cheering for you never works, so yeah, cheer for Asuka."
This is what happens when you mess with a New Yorker.
And especially a Puerto Rican one. No.
Well, I mean, again, I had the pleasure of working with you and TNA, and when you was with LAX, it was me against LAX and you, and so you were like the Bobby Heenan of the managers when you were there. It was kind of one of those things where if I couldn't just rely on beating up, the members of LAX, I had to rely on watching my back on the outside. If I got thrown out or if the referee's back was turned, I knew you were coming with a right hand. And I'm going to be honest with you, there's a reason why I really retired. And it had nothing to do with me just wanting to be a producer. It was because out of fear of having to know that I might be in the ring with someone you represented. And if the opportunity ever came, well, Brother Devon might get slapped.
I feel like I have slapped you before, though. I'm pretty sure.
You have.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Before we came on live, I happened to replay it on YouTube. Sometimes my train of thought disappears, and it's not old age. Some people might say it is like a 2 up top, but it was because of the concussions I got from you over and over again. So
combination.
I sometimes I just can't control it. Like I always say, I'm like, you can't handle my mouth because I can't either. I don't know what I'm going to say next. I don't know. It could very well be, yes, I'm ready for the Raw Women's title, and it's like, yeah, no, I really mean it. I absolutely mean it. And it's funny because, you're talking about, and a lot of people think that way because a few people have said, well, yeah, if I'm getting in the ring with Andrade or Angel, I'm getting in the ring also with you. It's like, damn right you are. And same with Drew. There was a moment where in NXT, he said like he felt like he was surrounded by sharks. And it was. Absolutely. That's exactly what we are. And I still say we because, sometimes we say things we don't mean. And not that I'm saying that I'm completely away from them yet. But they got a lot of, I don't know. Maybe we're separated, maybe we're not. I don't know. But I'm not having it right now. They have a lot of making up to do.
Well, you heard it from her. I mean, listen, if she said it, it's bound to be true. What do you think, Mo?
I think that is correct. But we keep talking about the vicious side, which is obvious. I'm glad I'm on this side of the camera here. But actually, I have met you only once in passing at, I think, Minneapolis Airport.
Oh my God, was that mean to you?
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like a couple seats away from you and an ex that we shall not name, and I just keep looking over. I'm like, I think that's them. And I didn't want to bug you because I know you guys are always so busy. But I eventually went over there just to say thank you. I'm highly entertained by the both of you, and you were a real sweetheart. So maybe I won't, we won't tell anybody about that, but.
You sure that was me? I don't know.
It was.
I don't know, you're giving away her secret.
Listen, I hate to give away the secret, but I'm going to tell you right now, ZELINA probably has one of the biggest hearts that I've ever known in a person. And to work with her was a true pleasure. We had the pleasure of working in the ECW arena.
Damn
and right. We, it was one of the things, I think that was my first time coming back since leaving ECW, and Zelina. Well, let's just say Bubba slammed her, and I did the "What's Up," and it was a great experience.
It was an experience I will never forget.
Hold on, where's Alistair? I'm just waiting for the kick.
It is yeah, that was, I just remember that specific time where Bubba goes, "Can we make this funny?"
Yeah. Yes, he did. And we did. We had a good time with it.
It was great.
Yeah, but like I said, it was a pleasure. Now, let me ask you a question, Zelina. Zelina, again, I worked with you in TNA and things like that. And for me in TNA, it didn't seem like they let you shine. It didn't seem like they let you do what we all knew that you were capable of doing it. Now you're in the WWE and you're shining like there's no tomorrow. You know, and I've always felt that in TNA, there were a lot of stars, you, Xavier, you know, so many people that weren't given the ball to run. You went to WWE, you hit and ran it for a touchdown. What is your thoughts on TNA and making the departure from there to come to the WWE?
I think it was good for what it was. I was young at the time. I was 19 years old when I got signed, when you think about it. So it's like forever ago. But I needed that experience because it introduced me to, you know, Sarita, who's still someone that I consider like my cousin. We were on-screen cousins, but, you know, she's considered family. And I went to Mexico and I got to train at CMLL, which is funny because that's when I met Andrade initially. It was in 2011. So that whole story of they've known each other for a while, it wasn't a lie. And, you know, it was good for what it was. And maybe they just thought, oh, we're not going to take a chance on her. And which is weird because people like you, I remember you constantly were always going to bat for me. Kurt Angle was always going to bat for me. Sting was always going to bat for me. And I remember the day that he had passed by Dixie and said, "We should put a title on that one." And I was like, what? And the next day, I'm not even joking. The next day, Terry Taylor comes up to me and he goes, "Hey kid, we're giving you the tag title, so you're winning it tonight. And you're getting the pin." And I was like, "Stop lying." But no. So, I mean, again, it was a great experience. It was something that I needed to grow as a performer because I got to meet all of the people that I get to work with now, AJ, Jeff Hardy, you know, so I needed it for, you know, at the time, but now I feel like I'm the butterfly that I was supposed to be. All of that was my like cocoon stage, but now I'm the butterfly that I'm supposed to be.
Good. All right. And of course, again, successful run in WWE, still going.
Thank you.
And, you know, let's just say, you know, Oscar, you know, you win the world title and you beat Oscar and you go on to be the greatest women's champion of all time. Well, my question to you is, will you ever think about going for the tag team titles as well? And if so, who would you like to be your tag team partner?
Without hesitation, Nia Jax.
Wow, I can see that. Yeah.
Nia Jax. So yes, I would absolutely. And I would want someone of her caliber on my side. Because again, if anybody is known to seek out talent and the right kind of talent for the situation, it's me. So I look at her as someone as dominant and someone who's so good at her craft that we can really just bring the best out of each other. She can be the yin to my yang because we're very similar in ways, but very, very different in a lot of ways. I mean, height is one of those things, sure, but I can just see that now, and I just that image alone, I think that's it. That's money there right there.
I love it.
Yeah, Nia Jax for sure.
It's kind of like me and Mo, you know. I mean, hell, Bubba and I are no longer together, so I can definitely see me and Mo being a tag team.
There you go.
I can also see Lindsay being the Duchess of Dudleyville, just like Stacy Keibler was. So I've got mine right here.
That would be an honor.
I love it. Love it.
That'd be so cool. That's awesome.
So I will say obviously I don't need to talk about how 2020 has been frustrating for everybody, but it has certainly allowed certain superstars to really step up and make make a name. And you have been a silver lining in the dark cloud of 2020 because the added promo time, your time at the announce desk and everything, it's dare I say it's been a star making year for you. You were always a star, but like this year, like you got your own USA Network commercial about you. I'm like, this is like the next level.
Yeah, it's weird because I say that too. I'm like, you know what? If quarantine didn't happen, not saying that I wouldn't have had these opportunities, but maybe it would have taken a little bit longer. And, also Becky's having her baby, there's people that are not here. So that just leaves spots to fill. And for me, I'm always like, you know what, give me the ball. And if I drop it, screw me, but you lose nothing. So I was always ready for that, and I think it started with Drew, and we had that back and forth. I was like, man, he's like my other promo half. It was perfect. Whenever it happened, it was magic with him. And it's interesting because before even quarantine happened, Vince would always say, like, you're one of my favorites. You're one of the reasons that I watch Raw. I love your character. And it was such an honor to hear that, because one of the things that he used to say to me was, you remind me of Stephanie, because she was always working out there, and you're a cutaway machine. I love that about you. And I'm telling you, first of all, I was like, are you serious? Like, legit, I was like ready to cry. Like, I was like, I love Stephanie. She's a huge inspiration when it comes to me and the ZELINA character. But it's wild to think that if this quarantine didn't happen, I wonder where I would be. I wonder if, I'd be getting a Raw Women's title shot against Asuka,
I think this quarantine has its good and has its bad. And I think a lot of people can agree with you that in some instincts it's been, unfortunately bad for some people, but it's been a gain for some people. I think that goes not only for individuals, whether it be in the sports world, entertainment world, but even in the home front. Where it allows families to spend more time with each other and to do things we normally wouldn't do because of the fact that we're so caught up in what we're doing in our everyday lives that we forget the importance. So again, something like this really benefited from you. And, again, kudos to you. Just take that ball and run for that touchdown, that end zone, and don't look back. Just keep going. Make as much as you possibly can, because I'm going to tell you this, you deserve it. I say to her all the time, every time I see her, she's my little bit. Every time I see her, I go, hey, little bit. So,
for sure.
Yeah.
And speaking on that too, like about taking the ball, if you wouldn't be given the ball if it wasn't for someone that believed in you. And one person that really believed in me was Paul Heyman. And I'm so lucky to say that I had someone like him on my side, because he fought for me every single time, every single day. And when it comes to being a manager, I still do. I look up to him a lot, because he's one of the greatest of all time. And, when you have someone like that who believes in you, it just fuels your fire that much more, So I definitely Paul Heyman now, but Tommy Dreamer is the one who got me into TNA, So we're talking ECW. I mean, we have some roots here.
Yes, we do. And I can't agree with you more. We call Paul Heyman Dr. Frankenstein because he's created so many of us. And it's he's the reason why our careers are going the way they're doing. And Tommy Dreamer, like I said in my Hall of Fame speech, he didn't do it and help people out because he expected something out of it. He did it because he genuinely cared and wanted to help people without expecting anything in return. So, again, I can't begin to say how much, Tommy Dreamer means to me. And of course, like you said, as well as Paul Heyman.
For sure.
Another thing impressive about what you do is the cosplay, all the characters, either just the modeling shots or implementing them into your ring attire. Let's say you are going to present something special at Night of Champions, just hypothetically. How long does it take to plan it out, to get it made? Like, when does that process start?
So it really depends on how intricate the outfit is. And what the meaning of it is, because I've done certain people for certain reasons. I did Vega because that's where my last name came from, Vega from Street Fighter. So I wanted to bring him and bring that kind of if you see how the Royal Rumble went and what my plan was, and how Vega, I don't know if you ever played that game, but he likes to climb the fence to get away from people. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm talking about? How he climbs the fence?
Oh, yeah.
So that, to me, it just fit perfectly into what I was trying to bring into the Royal Rumble. And, it just is, it depends on what the situation is. And something like a Clash of Champions, it would have to be something, and I like to keep it a surprise whenever I'm going to do something, but it would have to be at least a couple weeks, maybe a month. It depends on how big it is, but I try to really bring that into everything that I do. Even, Aaliyah, one of my favorite singers of all time. It was the anniversary of her passing on the 24th. And for Raw, I made sure that I did one of her, hot like fire outfits for Raw. So it's for people who know, so that's what makes it cool. Is if you're a nerd like me, you'll know.
Has there been any that you have not been approved to do, or that you had to fight for?
No, actually, everybody's been super supportive of anything I've ever asked to do, and it's usually like, what is that? Sure, all right, whatever, yeah, whatever. Okay, you're weird. Sure, okay. Like I remember when Carano came up to me and he was just like, "What is that? Why are you hiding your face?" And I was like, "It's a whole thing. It's the claw. It's the mask. Hello, don't play video games. Come on." So yeah, no, they've been super supportive of it. So it's cool. Also, when I get we did Sindel for the last Royal Rumble, and Mortal Kombat, they tweeted right as I was coming out with a picture of me saying the Queen has entered the Royal Rumble, and it's me cosplaying as Sindel, and I was like, "What the hell? What is life right now?"
Fantastic.
So cool.
Well, ZELINA, we know that you have to run. We know you have other obligations to attend to today, but we want to thank you so much for coming on the show and being a part of Table Talk. And, again, great success to you. How can we reach out to you, social media and things like that? Give it to us.
So my Twitter and Instagram is ZELINA_VEGA, WWE. And my Twitch, which is something that I'm having so much fun with, is twitch.tv/A2Z on YouTube.
All right. All right. Now, I wish I knew what Twitch was. I still don't know.
I can introduce you if you want. We can play some video games on there.
Listen, that's fine. Listen, my kids look at me as the old man, and because I am so out of touch with technology. And listen, I just learned how to do what we're doing right now. If it wasn't for Mo and Lindsay,
cool, though.
Yes,
really cool.
and if it wasn't for Mo and Lindsay, forget about it. I'd still be in the background trying to. How do you do this? What do you do?
It's okay.
We're on Twitch right now, so
oh hell,
We are.
Well, there we go.
Well,
I told
even
you.
Better.
There you go.
Even better. Oh my God. No, but thank you guys so much for having me. And to meeting you two is great. So thank you so much for having me. Devon, you know how much I love you and respect you. You are amazing and someone who's always had my back, and I appreciate you more than you know.
Listen, I'll say the same, you and even, with Alistair, you guys have been nothing but great to me, and even my twin boys, and working with my boys down at the school and things like that and helping them out. So my heart is got nothing but love for you and Alistair. And please tell him that when he sees me, don't kick me too hard. Just remember, I got to be able to feed my family. I'm the real Heath Slater. I got kids.
Well, that actually, your school is what's going to be helping me get ready for Oscar. So
listen, my door is always open. You know that. All right, ZELINA. Well, thank you so much for joining us on Table Talk, and we wish to have you back again one day.
Absolutely. Let me know. We got this.
All right, we got it.
And with that, we go from one guest into another who is an actress, a part of the MCU. We have a Marvel Cinematic Universe character in our realm, in our world. She is a WWE correspondent, an announcer, overall badass, ladies and gentlemen. Sarah.
Yes,
thank you so much.
Almost. I'm like, Devon, can we make sure that is my microphone working properly?
Oh, your microphone, we can hear you loud and clear.
I used the snowball.
Oh,
I don't know.
So cool.
Devon, I'm like you. I'm just trying to figure this out. The future is now. I'm not the professional Twitcher. Can you say that? Is it a Twitcher?
Twitter.
Sure.
Listen, I almost said Twitter, so you got me. You got listen. Yeah, and you holding up that snowball. Listen, I ain't never seen that before. So
okay.
I've never seen it. Mo, don't.
It was one of my first quarantine purchases. I was like, I'm coming to the podcast world. We need a professional. It's a beginner, I think, microphone, right, guys? It's a beginner.
Yeah. That's good quality, though. It's good quality.
Okay, good.
There we go. I have AirPods. It's so cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, see, I tried the AirPod thing, and I guess either I would forget to charge them or I would forget whatever, and it would never work for me. Now all of a sudden I got to go through these.
Even I don't even know where my ear pods are. They're on one of my phones. I don't even know where that is. So
It's okay.
We're gonna need a producer on the show in the future, because before we went live, even before we had Zelina in queue, Devon had his headset powered off.
Yeah.
And he could hear us, but
Yeah.
we couldn't hear him. And for the whole time, he thought we were pulling a prank on him. And we're like, seriously,
chatting
we
away.
can't hear you.
Yeah. That's literally what I thought the other day with a friend. I was like, are you pretending to be mute?
Yeah. Sarah, I'm telling you, it's bad with these two because see,
It also shows how we treat them.
Yes, I was just about to say they mess with me so bad that when something really does happen, I'm like oblivious to it. I think they're messing with me. I have no idea.
Good friends bust chops. That's Jersey style.
Absolutely.
I know you've been talking New York pride, but Jersey style is people love you when they bust your chops. Like,
listen,
It's a southern thing too, I guess.
there are some people from Jersey. I sit there and just go, God, you got to be from Jersey. You know, I'm from New York, so we're the enemy. But you know what? After meeting you, after meeting you and you coming to the company, I think I love Jersey.
Hey, I love this. Wait, we're not enemies. Come on, we got to be nice to each other. Northeast power.
Well, here's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
You claimed the Statue of Liberty. You took out New York's Jets, which you could probably have, even though they're my favorite team. But shit,
okay, well,
we ain't won since Joe Namath. So, and you guys want to take the New York Giants. So, you know, a lot of us New Yorkers are upset about that from Jersey, just because we're actually playing on your land. But remember, it's a hop, skip, and a jump to go from where the Giant Stadium is to New York.
Can I tell you, I grew up 5 minutes from Giant Stadium, MetLife. Giant Stadium. So when I joined the company with WWE, I found out I joined WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans, and like that week they announced they were going to be in Jersey. And well, literally, I thought it was fate. My parents came to the show. Somehow, I'm not going to say they made it to the 50-yard line during the show. Somehow. But it was one of those epic moments where I was like, is this real life? Like, I grew up 5 minutes from there, and it's just whatever. You know what? Can't we all get along? New York, New Jersey, we're all good, right?
Hey, absolutely. We can add Philadelphia in there as well.
Okay, yeah.
And it's not to say that you didn't spend time in New York City anyway. Okay. I mean, you may be originally from Jersey, but you're an NYC gal.
Well, yeah. Well, the New Jersey Transit was only 10 minutes from Port Authority. Well, literally, I grew up going into New York City because I was a theater girl. I guess it's still within my soul. I am a theater girl. That's maybe why I keep doing jazz hands. But it's inevitable. And but yeah.
Wine hand.
Yeah, I'd be going into the city all the time. My dad would be driving me in for Broadway auditions at like 7 years old. I'll never forget, we went in during the Puerto Rican Day Parade, and we're like in rush hour traffic in the Lincoln Tunnel. My dad's stressed as can be, and I'm just going to audition for Big on Broadway. And it was just like those stories. The city is, the heartbeat of the city has always been part of me. But then I went to sunny LA, and that kind of changed me too. I softened a little bit.
So let me ask you, I should say this. What did you do before the WWE? What was your main focus, and what did you originally want to do? Because there's no way in hell you wanted to be with a bunch of.
He said, "Oh, wait. Wait."
So you know what? I grew up loving Broadway and theater. And so live performance in general, which can easily connect with WWE. But I usually say, and I did entertainment and acting and hosting and like everything under the umbrella of hosting under the umbrella of performing as an actress within my morals. Does that work?
Okay.
So my mom's a retired teacher. My dad's a retired cop. And my brother's a doctor. I grew up with a dog and a cat, very supportive family. And but I've done like from TV, I did acting with Marvel with Agent Carter. Live TV, I did David Letterman. I ran on stage. I ran on stage and cursed out Letterman. They scripted it. They scripted it. But they basically, right before I went on, it was supposed to be like, David Letterman, you're an asshole. And they changed it to David Letterman, F you. Because they're like, oh, let's just let this like sweet girl come in, and because it's everything we wanted to say to Letterman. Like, okay, so that was one of the wildest parts of my career. I did stuff on the news with KTLA and KCAL. I did home shopping. I mean, that was its own world of interesting, unique live television.
Wait,
so I probably saw you then.
Are you responsible for all the Karens that are out there now? Did you anger them years ago?
Oh, God.
Do I anger them?
No.
Why? Because I didn't give them the best sale they can get?
Right. I don't know what you did.
It's interesting because I feel like if you asked me to write my career, I couldn't. I truly could not. I had this eye on the prize with theater, but when I kept slamming on knocking on that door, and then these other opportunities came up, and I feel like just saying yes has presented itself some phenomenal, memorable moments that in my career. I did stunts opposite Bruce Willis in a commercial for Russia.
Wow.
Should I admit that?
Wow.
Maybe I shouldn't tell people I was in a Russian commercial.
Wow.
Yeah, I filmed that on the lot doing stunts opposite Bruce Willis. Like, just wild.
How was Bruce? Because I have some friends that have worked with him that do not like him at all. Maybe you have a different perspective.
So what it was is I was falling off a building was what's happening in the scenario.
As in the Bruce Willis movie.
So it was that Bruce Willis moment. And honestly, I was hanging in my stunt and they were going to drop me. But thank goodness Bruce Willis saved me. But we're basically meeting as I'm hanging off this wall that was built. It was probably like 3 stories on the lot. And honestly, he wasn't the first one to say, hello, nice to meet you. I was like, I have to say something if this is going to be us the entire day. And I said, oh, we're both from Jersey. I'm Sarah. Nice to meet you. So I started the introduction, if you will, and he came to set. And it was like number 1 coming to set, all that stuff. It was a great experience. I couldn't say either way. I would say he's from Jersey. I highly support him. So he's awesome.
That is a great diplomatic answer right there.
I'll take it. Yeah.
Very well done.
Beauty pageant answer.
Now I got to ask, you go from that.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden
To Devon.
WWE to with Devon.
To Devon.
What the hell? What the hell? How does that transmit?
Foremost, I like to say it is always a delight to see Devon backstage. Oh, should I not say?
Yes.
Yes. Man.
He's not a delight here. What?
Does he give you drugs? I mean, like, why is it a pleasure?
No, I just think that it's just always great to see someone that has a genuine, awesome energy backstage, and it just helps the chaos and the crazy, exciting day that it is when we're working. There's a lot going on constant, so just seeing your smile, I'm just like, things are going to be good. Things are going to be fine. It's always just a positive, awesome, interaction. So I appreciate that.
Yes. Yes. One for Devon.
Yeah, there we go. So it's really funny. So I grew up as the only girl at all the pay-per-view events when we would watch the Royal Rumble in the 90s with my brother. Mm-hmm. And I grew up with an older brother. I have a picture of my brother with a Macho Man foam finger at the Continental Airlines Arena with my mother in the early 90s. And I was just always the only girl at the pay-per-view, calling 1-800. One family got it, you know what I mean? And got the WWF. And it was just awesome. And I think the thing that I loved about it was I always love hanging with the guys. I played sports. I have an older brother, that kind of thing. I think it's also my dad always instilled in me, don't be the cheerleader, play the sport kind of attitude. And so I feel like it was a perfect combination of my theatrical world and then my athletic world that I lived in. So it was just this showy, you know, with the fireworks and the pyro and these direct-to-camera monologues. It is theatrical gladiators. It's Shakespeare and gladiators in one. And so for me, I've done Shakespeare as well. I've done, which I loved and everything, and I did musical theater and all that. It's just a little bit more athletic. I actually am certified stage combat as well.
Oh, wow.
I would not be able to do what you do, but I have a quarter staff in college. I went to school for musical theater. We had to be certified, an entire class in stage combat. So don't mess with me with a quarter staff or a rapier and dagger.
Well, let me ask you this. Is there a possibility that we might see you drop the microphone and into the squared circle?
So it's funny that I came after ZELINA, because there was this one interview I had. And first and foremost, my mother is a huge mark. She has to talk to me about everything that's going on. And I have to be like, Mom, I'm not working right now. Can we get it? Like, she's like, is this true? Because she's obsessed with the dirt sheets. She wants to know everything. But she also like feels like she knows all the information. She watches every night, every Monday and every Friday. The other day she sent a group text that she thought Adam Cole was cute. I was like, why is this on our family text, Mom? And I agree and I support it, but
is he cute?
Of course. I mean, I interviewed Drew McIntyre. Like, this is like outrageous. These, they're superheroes. They're obviously superstars. These are phenomenal people. But anyway, I had an interview with ZELINA. And after that, in the group family text, my dad just said, you could take her. You could take her. I was like, I don't know about that. And I don't know if I'm about to try that. You know, it was like, you know, that's tempting, but no, these are pros. They've been doing it their whole life, just like how I grew up with like what I was doing and broadcast and, you know, being on camera as a host. That's why I loved it so much. I talked to my friends that are like TV, like traditional scripted TV, because I would say we're our own entity without a doubt, and theater. And I'm like, you would be so impressed by all of the talent. When I did theater, we rehearsed a show for like a month and then did that same show for like a year.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, prepare. You're saying this is where you stand. This is where the light hits you. This is the full choreography. I'm like, WWE, we are still figuring out our show. And these people are just doing it live. I'll never forget. Daniel Bryan, direct to camera, did like a 3-page monologue. And I was like, I wish all my friends can experience this, because it takes a very strong, incredible, outrageous, talented performer to do what we do, to do what you guys do.
No, you as well. I mean, think about it. You're going live, and you know, we go live. You do these interviews. You're given a paper that says, "Hey, listen, this is what we want you to say." That's it. And within minutes, 3, 2, 1, and you're on. Yeah. So you're in the same boat as us. And I think that's one of the things that I love about the WWE as opposed to Hollywood. Hollywood have to get their script sometimes weeks and months in advance to do what they do. And then still, when it's time to film, they still, you know, whatever they go to, we don't get that time.
Line. Well, it's like you do it from different angles. You do that same scene how many different ways, right?
Right.
And it's a totally different experience because, you know, I think the adrenaline of being live and like growing up doing theater or going on the news or even doing HSN on Home Shopping, that adrenaline and excitement really fuels you and creates a different type of performance.
I love Jaden. Jaden thinks you're ready for Asuka and Sasha Banks. How about that? How about that jump right there?
Is there a possibility that we might see you?
So I had another interview so you brought up Sasha Banks. Speaking of live TV, one of my favorite interviews. Sasha had just came back from a long leave, and I'm interviewing her, and they say she's going to scream at you, just be prepared. And I was like, of course, I love it. Like, bring it all. Like, I like getting the fury. I like the anger. I love being involved in that excitement. But Sasha screams at me, and I'm supposed to run out. And like, I didn't think where the door was, and it was farther than I thought. And I just literally ran out and went directly to the wall, and then I to the door. No, I'm not ready for. The only thing I think I'd be ready for is doing full choreography with Asuka. I could do.
There you go.
You know.
I think. Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. When the cameras aren't rolling on me at any time, I'm doing Oscar's dance. But I think Oscar and everybody else would laugh at me if they saw me do it. But I can say one thing:
we could do this right now if you want.
Absolutely not. I can say this: I'm better than Carol Baskin. I can tell you that much.
Oh my goodness! I don't know. I heard you talking about that. I don't know how I feel about Carol Baskin joining that. Controversy, but smart producing.
Smart producing, but a horrible guest to come in to try to dance. I'm sorry. I'm not hating on her.
No, I guess I have to YouTube that.
Yeah, you should. You should.
Listen, I'm not hating on her. I'm really not. I'm not hating on her, but I mean, Dancing with the Stars. I mean, hell, you won't see me on Dancing with the Stars because there's no way. I got 2 left feet, so there's no way.
No,
well,
Devon, you could do better.
Wow, it was that bad. Wow,
she's great. She's great. I'm gonna win this bet.
Do you think? So when do they vote? Do you think she'll continue just because people want her there?
That's what I'm hoping.
There's a possibility because if not, Lindsay and I got a bet that she has to make it past the 3rd round, and with her appearance, what was it, last week or this week? Yeah, it was God. Yeah, listen, if she makes it past the 1st round, I will be shocked.
Yeah. Okay, I'll watch it. As soon as we're done here, I'm going to actually watch it. Because I watched Tiger King. That was the beginning of all of what we're dealing with. So everyone's like, oh, that was the beginning. And it was still, we're all into the Tiger King moment. My mother still hasn't watched it. I keep telling her, and she's like a cat person, not like that kind of cat person. She has 2 cats. She has 2 cats.
She loves killing her husband, so she should like this show.
She would love it.
No, my dad is just fine, other than him just losing his mind during quarantine together. But
aren't we all?
Now, let me ask you this: I grew up watching wrestling, like yourself, and Devon, of course. But I never wanted to be a star. I wanted to be like Mean Gene. And when I saw Mean Gene backstage, it was going to be a great interview. When you saw the coach backstage with The Rock back in the 90s, you knew it was in for a good moment. Is there one star you feel you have that rapport with, that you and that star could keep making this gold?
I've now been on Raw I was doing Raw and SmackDown for the last 2 years, and then Raw is about a year. But recently I was with Big E and Kofi, and those guys just you feed off their energy. They just roll with the punches and you just jump in. They're a blast. Honestly, ZELINA VEGA, she's a blast to work with as well, because you know she's going to give you sass and you get to run with it. And then it's just fun to have people that use you and as, because it's a scene still, we're acting in a scene. And so for me to be able to be a part of it is really exciting and just fun for me, and to play with that. And then Kevin Owens, I worked with this past week, and we worked on something in digital, and he just ate a banana the entire and referenced, and it was just so absurd but still brilliant in his Kevin Owens way. Honestly, I think I just want to keep working with everybody, and no, not yet. I think that everybody just is, they give different things. I can't help but give the beauty pageant answer. I apologize. But I do think that. I'm thinking of all my, these great interactions I've had with such awesome talents. But when they bounce off of we're going back and forth is what really excites me, and have a lot. Nia Jax. Oh God, she's great. Sasha Banks and Bailey. Bailey's fantastic with her heel. Honestly, I'm gonna go. I do like the heels a lot. Girls are mean to me, and I love it.
Listen, you're not the first person, and look, Stone Cold Steve Austin, when he came to the WWE, he was supposed to be a heel. And, he said the right promo and everything. And next thing you know, people fell in love with him. The Dudley Boys, same thing. We were supposed to come in as heels and do that. The minute we put an 89-year-old woman through a table, forget about it. We were loved. So it's not a bad idea to love the heels. Trust me. Yeah, they wind up turning babyface eventually.
It's true.
Now, since we're talking old school and whatnot, Sebastian wants to know, who are your favorite wrestlers growing up?
So I grew up like, obviously, when I went to my first WrestleMania 34 as someone with the company, the Undertaker entrance, I had to FaceTime my brother and text my brother immediately. So that was like untouchable, where I was like able to feel the flames in his entrance. But like Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, 1, 2, 3 Kid, Yokozuna, like that was my time, where Royal Rumble, watching that no matter what, is my favorite pay-per-view. It's just so fun. And it's, like I said, the theatrics of not knowing who's, and then the music hits and the full entrance. I guess I gave so many.
I get it. I get the Royal Rumble love, and that's if somebody is new to wrestling, like Lindsay to my left here. She's still kind of learning the sport a little bit. I say watch the Rumble because it's so much fun.
I wish that we would hold back a little of telling as much now.
Yes,
because my whole thing is like that surprise moment. I don't want to know who could possibly be. I want to just complete surprise. And now I think we have a handful of surprises. But
right now, I remember I went last year. It was the very first Royal Rumble I've ever seen live in person. The one in Phoenix. I had a bad luck for years where I would live in Ohio. The next year's Rumble would be in Detroit, not far from where I lived. I move across the country. And then the Rumble moves there the next state over. I move across the country. It was bad timing. So I literally took an 18-hour whirlwind trip to Phoenix because I had to go back to work the next day and whatnot. Arrived that morning, saw the Rumble, flew home that night to get back to work the next day. Just because the Rumble's so much fun. So, Lindsay, you got a couple people here that say you need to watch the Rumbles.
Yeah. I'll do it. I will do it. Okay.
They are better than Carol Baskin dancing.
absolutely.
Okay. I believe you.
That's great.
The Stars is still on. I remember when how many seasons has it been? Because that initial one, I was like, how is this going to last? And it's amazing that it's still going.
Well, it's amazing that it's still going even during the quarantine.
Right.
Exactly.
That's amazing right there in itself. There's so many shows now that you're wondering how they're going to be able to do it with everything being, social distancing, 6 feet. But they're coming up with ideas and they're doing it. I think it's fantastic. And, I was telling somebody the other day, with me doing table talk and everybody else, that this is going to be the new way of doing things, of interviews. That I believe in my heart that, and I could be wrong, but the days of going in the studio with a studio audience and like the Oprah show or the Ellen show, I feel like those days are over now, and this is going to be the new look. It sucks, but you know what? We got to do what we got to do.
I truly hope. My whole thing is when this started. I wrote an article for a magazine, and it was basically about, for me, theater and what we do with WWE. The audience is a character, right? So much of the WWE universe, we can't have the show without them because they have the response. They have answers in a promo. We literally, there are answers in a promo. Yes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what for me is so brilliant about what we do. They're so included that it would break my heart that live events would ever go away. And for me, like I think about ancient Greece, like that was, theater was then. It's one of the first art forms. Gladiators, like I said, we're part of that. And for me, I just think of Wall-E, and it scares me that's where we're going, that we're just going to be like this and not realize there's someone right to the left and right of us. We need live interaction. We need live performance. It breaks my heart with where we are. I'm on my pedestal, guys. I apologize.
I love it. That's great.
That's so much of why I'm in this business. Like, there's something about, I said, like when I did HSN and people were like, oh, it was a good show. The numbers were good. And I said, but what did the audience think? Did they laugh? Did they enjoy it? Because that's what performing is about. That satisfaction of being in the room and just this situation. It's untouchable, that energy for live performance.
I agree. 100% I agree.
Yeah. Well, Sarah, listen, it's been an honor And it's been a pleasure. And I want to thank you once again for joining Table Talk. And I also want to thank you for telling these two up here about how special I am.
You are.
However it works, being backstage with you
remember
guys.
That.
Diva, I think you're cutting out again.
Listen, we can extend this show a little bit longer. You hear me. You understand what the hell I'm saying. Don't even go there.
It's not clicking. It's just stop. No, don't tell Diva on this, Sarah. But we actually like him. We love Diva. We do.
Yeah, we love it. Anyway, we give him a hard time because we love him.
But I've always heard that that's what you do in pro wrestling is you got to give people a hard time to show them that you care about them.
Yeah.
I'm training.
I'll never forget the moment. My dad, like I said, Jersey retired cop. So he likes busting chops and stuff like that. And he'll never forget one time an ex-boyfriend turned him was like, you know what, Mark, you're an asshole or something like that. And my dad was like, respect. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, how was I raised? But no. Well, busting chops shows the love, right?
Listen, I'm going to say you were raised very well. I met both. It's an honor and a pleasure to meet them both. Your mom was just as sweet as can be. And, all she did was smile and laugh and had a great time backstage. So please give her my best and tell us how.
I will. I think she was wearing a shirt with my face on it that she made herself.
That she made. Yep, sure did. Sarah, before we let you go, tell us how we can get in touch with you on social media and things like that.
Of course. Instagram is great. Lots of pictures and lots of stuff. And that's at Sarah Schreiber. And then on Twitter, I couldn't get Sarah Schreiber. So it's at Sarah Schreib. Get that her. But other than that, yeah. And then a little sneak peek. I think in a couple months I just found out maybe be doing a podcast myself with a great group of girls. So that'll be coming up soon.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
cool.
We're available.
I was about to say the three of us will be more than happy to be on your show.
I would love it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, again, thank you so much and continue success working with WWE as announcer. You're doing a great job. And, it's great having you not only on this show, but to see your lovely face on WWE. And, please continue the great work and we'll see you soon.
Of course. Thanks so much for having me, guys. It means a lot. And I was so excited when you asked me to be on here. So it was really appreciated. And I was absolutely flattered. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. You take care, dog. Give the family our best. Bye-bye.
I love her. Hey.
Yes.
Wait. There we go.
Wow. More people that actually seem to like you. When are you going to invite somebody on the show that doesn't like you?
That'll never happen. There's no, wait a minute. No, wait. You see, why would I do that? Why would I book somebody on the show that doesn't like me?
Oh, now we know your tactic. Like Sebastian, our friend down there.
Well, listen,
he said he wasn't paid.
We could always have my ex-wife on here. I guarantee she can tell you how much she hates me.
What's scarier? A girl from The Exorcist or your ex-wife on the show?
My ex-wife. Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely. There was one night where she did look like Linda Blair in full makeup. So just saying.
Okay.
I like her already.
And by the way, it's my show. You're damn right I said it. You can go to hell. So
I thought this was my show.
What's that? What's it's your show?
What?
Is that what you said? It's your
my
show?
Hold on.
I thought it was my show.
Hold on. Our show.
Thank you.
That's one thing I did learn in radio the whole time is you can host the most successful show in the world, but if you treat your board op like crap, then you're going to sound like crap. So,
oh God.
Yeah.
Well, it's like making an album. Like making an album. If you don't treat the producer right when he's in there doing everything right, then guess what? Chances are you're not going to be in the top 10. You probably won't even make it to the top 100 because the song will suck.
And speaking of top 10, Lindsay's ready to go. She's got her Eye of the Tiger top on there.
I do. You can't see it. I have it. Whatever. It's Eye of the Tiger. I don't want to talk about it.
No,
so how's
we
it
have
going?
to talk about it because we were promoting to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
For anybody not aware, a quick recap that there's a bet going between Devon and Lindsay about Carol Baskin of Tiger King fame on Dancing with the Stars, the headliner in week 1. She got the last dance or something.
And the commercial. And the commercial
from the ex-dead husband family.
John Lewis. Did you see that? Did you see it?
I tell you what, that is powerful. Because if you think about it, here it is. She's on the show, dancing, whatever, trying to, how would you say, gasping the glory of success of being on Dancing with the Stars. And then all of a sudden, not only do you actually do a bad job of it, but the family of the man you're accused of killing is on a commercial and trying to get people to support to get you locked up. You can't be in it. That can't go any worse. I mean, good God. And then Lindsay losing the bet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
She may have gotten the lowest score from the judges, but there's still fans like us.
Lindsay,
to vote for her. What?
You know what? And that's what scares me, Mo. That's what actually scares me, because there are fans like Lindsay that will vote for Karen just because it's her.
I'm only voting
because of that damn documentary. That's what's making me nervous. I ain't gonna lie. If you were just going on pure talent, and if you were going on just the judges in the place voting, she probably would have been voted off that day after her dance. Okay. But because of the fact that the fans are actually the ones that vote you off, and that documentary was such a success, chances are she might even go all the way. I might be the one to have to wear tiger underwear. Good God.
And a schoolgirl outfit.
Okay. No. What about, okay, I had a thought. What if I nix your idea and do the TikTok dance to the Carol Baskin song instead?
I'm sorry. Can you wait? Oh God!
Killed her husband, whacked him. I gotta learn it first.
You gotta learn it, but no. Wait a minute. You saying dancing like the schoolgirl in the outfit?
No. Nixing the outfit. I'll wear this shirt.
Okay.
The tiger thing, the Eye of the Tiger shirt.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll do the TikTok dance. I don't want to wear a school outfit.
Can I ask you a question? How does that really, I mean, how can that, Mo, and help me out here. How can that really play off here? A bet's a bet. You agreed, just like I agreed if I lose, I got to wear the schoolgirl outfit plus the tiger underwear. And
no,
listen,
we'll still keep that.
I'm all for no. I'm all for it. And we need to keep both of them because, again, I have faith that this woman is not making it past the third round. And when she doesn't, you in trouble. I'm just letting you know that right now. And I'm just going to go on the record by smiling on the next show when she does. Listen, I'm going to be a happy camper. It's like a fat kid loving cake.
Now
trust me, I know what that means.
Now I get that too. Let me jump in on this here. I do agree with Devon that a bet is a bet. You have already agreed to it.
Okay.
However, it's very interesting. Something I read this morning that I purposely did not tell Lindsay or Devon about ahead of time.
Oh, God.
Is that she is the most requested Dancing with the Stars celebrity in closer to a decade.
Oh, God.
That she is doing all of the press. She's hardly saying no to any of them, which makes me believe that there are probably producers that are rooting for her to keep going. Now, I don't know if that means they can fix the competition, sway the vote. I don't know what they do, but
that changed it. That okay. I have
according to rumor, I don't know if it's true, but all of the other dancers were very offended to see her on the show, and they don't like the amount of attention she's getting, which means drama.
I love drama.
No, you just love the fact that you might have a chance in winning this bet.
Nope.
Because that is the only way that's going to happen. That's the only way this is going to happen. Like I said, because the fans love that documentary and because that whole Carol Baskin song and everybody's doing it. Now all of a sudden, there's a chance that this psycho might. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read that.
It's a conspiracy, Devon.
You damn right, it's a conspiracy.
We don't know anything. We don't know.
Listen, we know. We know that this thing is fixed. It is fixed. There's no way she should go past the first round, but I guarantee you she'll go because of crazy fans like you that want to see her continue just over some damn documentary. I'm totally offended of it. I'm just no. This is a conspiracy theory. This is wrong. This is unjust. This is everything you can possibly say. You know what? If I get the chance, the day that the third round goes and she's still there, the minute whoever she goes up against, because I got a feeling she's going to go into the third round, and then when it comes time for elimination, it's going to be her and somebody else. If she happens to survive that night before we go off the air, I'm bringing Mo with me. We're going down to that studio. I'm going to pull out a table and put her ass right through it. I'm letting you know that right now. I'm going
I will video it all.
Yes. And we're going to put it on the show. Now, grant you, I might get 5 to 10 years for doing it, but at least I won't have to go through with the bet.
You'd rather go to prison than wear a schoolgirl outfit?
Devon versus Carol Baskin, a tables match.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Listen, Lindsay, I'm gonna tell you this. There's a reason why I wore camos and pants, and I never wore tights. I never had legs nor anything. I actually took after my mother, so I had to hide.
Have no legs.
I have no legs, baby. None. Oh gosh, this is ridiculous.
I have not cared that much about this show probably ever, but I am so intrigued to see what's going to happen in the next few weeks here, because either way, I'm a winner and everybody watching's a winner. So
justice for John Lewis and go Carol Baskin.
Oh God, Carol Baskin. How does it go? Kill the husband.
Whacked him. Can't convince me that it didn't happen.